Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interests before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
All right, we are back, and joining us is Pastor Dwayne Bland of Thibodeau Family Church. And it's that time again. It's coming up, the Night to Shine. And folks, if you haven't been to Night to Shine, it is certainly an event. And there you see it. There's Joni at HTV, and of course, she helps out along with many, many others. And Pastor Dwayne and his family came up with this idea. Actually, Tim Tebow's foundation spearheaded the idea, but they had to have people like Pastor Dwayne and Rachel and the family buy into it. And they have bought into it, and this is an unbelievable event. And Pastor Dwayne, good to see you again, but here we go again, another year.
It is here and coming quickly.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. Our numbers are pretty big. I mean, it's pretty, I don't want to say abnormal, but it is. It's a good abnormal. We normally average maybe 180, 190 special needs members, and I think we've just exceeded 230. We're working close to 240. And so our numbers are now, with volunteers, a little over 500. So the event is, and we're still 5 weeks away.
You know, the funny thing is, it's not funny, it's really special, is when we started taping, I still run into a lot of those that attend, and it could be 8 months since it's passed. They still so excited, and they always say, see you next year.
Yeah.
So it's become really their event. It's become an event that they just feel special at. And you know they're talking it up, and you know the word's going around. And what y'all have done is so special. It's got to make y'all feel good that y'all really put something together that it's the most heartwarming thing you can actually be at.
It is a very, very special night. You know, I think the thing that makes it, I guess, a step up to make it better than just special is the gathering of a community. It's that it's not a Tim Tebow event.
Right.
It's not a Thibodeau Family Church event. It's a community event for the special needs community. And you see it that night. It's just fabulous. There you see the Nickel State team, and I've made contact with Nickel State, and they're eager to get involved. But even more this year, they want to get some athletes on the ground. I think someone's working on bringing in possibly some LSU cheerleaders this year. So it's expanding. The word is out. Things are getting out there, and it's just really, really cool. Like all the footage that you have here, none of this would really be possible if it were not for HTV. You've been a partner with us from the very beginning. You were a part of the vision. You help us put our feet on the ground. For those of you who've never heard the story before, when I read the expectations of this event, I thought to myself, this is really impossible for our church to do this. It would take a city to do that. And I told my daughter, I said, I'm going to take a little while, I'll pray about it. And I really felt like the Spirit of God said, you need to talk to Martin Foss and Tommy Eshday, and I did. And you were the first one I met with. You came to my home, and you said just something really easy but simple. You said, this is really easy. And in my world, I really thought it was impossible.
Yeah, easy for me to say, right?
No,
Yeah.
but you've accomplished big things like this before, and you just brought that assurance that it could be done. And you stepped up and you worked with us, and we're grateful, man. You're a great friend to the special needs community and to this event. Thank you.
But when y'all showed me that trail, and I'm sitting in your living room watching that trailer,
Yeah.
and when you watch that, you can't say no.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who had a special needs child, and he just becomes so beloved with all of us. And just to watch, if we could roll in some more B-roll, Jay, of the event as we talk, just to watch these special needs children get into it. And I saw a different side of this community that I never really got to see before. They compete on the dance floor. They have fun on the dance floor. They smile on the dance floor. They want to be loved like everybody else. They're genuine, not a bad bone in their body. And I think we learned more than they did.
You know, I remember this specific moment where you and I were at the beginning of the red carpet a couple years ago, and there was this young lady that it was her turn to walk the carpet, and she was very reluctant. So I asked her, I said, would you walk the carpet if I walk with you? And she said, sure. And so Joni and all, introduced her, called out her name. And the moment that the cheer crowd got hooping and hollering and cheering her on, she stopped and she pushed me back. And she looked at me and she goes, I got this. And you and I stood there, and I think we just for a moment, we took a moment and were moved by our emotions because we saw this young lady come alive, like she was timid, didn't want to go forward. And then all of a sudden she became, look, you remember this? She said, my name is Sassy.
Right. Yeah.
And she broke it down. And you see that all night long where the special needs world just, they thrive in this atmosphere because of the love that is presented to them by this beautiful community. And so for all of you who have participated with us, I mean, we cannot say thank you enough, but we'd love to have your partnership again.
And to see the sponsors that, not only the ones that are on display, but there's so many people behind the scenes. And I know people have donated food, and people donate time, and people donate energy and everything. But it takes the whole community. This thing is growing so big. I don't know if you even thought it would get that big, but it's growing.
It really has. And Miss Wendy Eshte asked me just a couple weeks ago if she could actually put the event out on a statewide level. And I said, well, sure, let's see what it does. So we'll see how it grows, if it does go that far. But we've touched quite a few people outside of this immediate community, and it's because of the great community we live in.
Well, it certainly is a blessing to do, and it's fun. Let's do this. We'll take a break. But we do have some rules and regulations that we have to abide by, and things that I know you want to get out. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back with Pastor Dwayne Bland. This is about the night to shine. You might want to mark your calendar on this because this is it's a big deal. We'll be back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, welcome back. We are with Thibodeau Family Church Pastor Dwayne Bland. Once again, the night to shine, and it is coming on February 7th, 2025. Thibodeau Family Church will host Night to Shine, sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation. It's an unforgettable prom night experience centered on God's love for people with special needs, ages 14 and older, and it's now in its 10th year. That's unbelievable. Yeah. 10 years.
Well, we've been.
Does it seem like 10 years?
Well, this will be our 7th.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, because they have, but you also have to remember that we missed a couple of years with COVID.
That's right.
So they had virtual Night to Shine, even though we had to supply them with all the goodies and the bags and the crowns. We just didn't do anything in person. So out of the 7 years, this will be our 5th.
Right. And I want to let the audience know, this ain't something that just anybody can show up to. Everybody, and I mean everybody, me every year. Everybody that goes in there has to do the background check.
I do too.
Yeah, so nobody gets in front of those young adults unless they have been checked.
Well, let's just say, the foundation wants us to provide them with a safe and secure place of, enjoyment, a night of celebration with no concerns. And then, we have, our police force, our sheriff, just great support of the event. So we have a lot of, security there. Also, we have Acadian Ambulance that works with us. So we have medical staff there. They're caretakers. So there's a lot of care that goes on there. And then we, the public, we, the church, we the people that are there to represent the love of God, we just add the fun and the celebration. Last year was our first year we had a live band, so that was really neat, and they enjoyed themselves so much
too, very good.
Yeah, they wanted to come back, so they're back again this year.
Well, good. And I see the district attorney, Christine Russell's always there, and just to see the politicians, I call them politicians, public servants on this event, they go there, and I know for people that get there the first time, sometimes I'll watch them, and they look out there and they're going, oh my God, I never thought it would be like this. It's something that you almost got to be there to sense.
Yeah, I think with the thing that most people realize that you can't catch on television is the presence of the Lord. And I think that's why Tim Tebow, the requirement is that this event has to go through the local church because they want the presentation of the gospel in some form to be presented to that community. And we do. It's nothing on a large scale, but we just want to affirm that they're loved by the Lord and his presence is there. And so when those streamers go off and the poppers go off, it's more than that. You'll see 60-year-old men and women crying because they're being touched by the fact that they're being crowned as valuable, important. And it's a very unique moment. It's beautiful.
You know what I love to see is, as I got to know you over the years, just watching your daughters tell you what to do. They got the whole thing orchestrated.
Oh, yeah. Like even today, I'm having to lean into my notes because they have it down. They're doing their part. And it really has become, for me, quite easy. You know, it's so unique because I don't have a big staff. We have a real volunteer, small group of people, but we've been blessed with some great people. And they've developed a system for the night to shine that's so efficient and so effective that the foundation actually calls us to ask us how we do things. And I think to myself, that is quite unique. Like we don't take money from Tim Tebow or their foundation. We self-fund it. And we do that through local sponsors, as well as our own ministry. We step up and we do this for the people. And so that helps the foundation, the Tim Tebow Foundation, bring the gospel to more, like Tim Tebow will tell us in training sessions, to other destinations in the world. And so one of the things that's so unique about the goodness of what happens in this city is that the generosity here takes this to another level around the world.
So volunteer needs, special needs guests, 47 remaining, youth volunteer ages 16, 17 only, volunteer adult, 98 remaining, parents, caretakers, anything else you need? What do you need the most right now?
I think it's just really, sponsors are always a cool thing to have because they make the journey easy. So if anybody's able to sponsor, whether it's through food or some type of assistance, or financially, it just helps us cover the cost. Other than that, volunteers are really a big key. You know, you want to be able to buddy up with someone. You want somebody to go out there and dance with one of the special needs members. And in the very beginning, we were always concerned, of the unknown, what could happen. And we've just discovered that the fears are not there. It's just an enjoyable evening. And so I know we're wrapping this up, but I want to give you this little thought. That recently I met a dad in the store, and he told me, he says, my son has the bags, the Night to Shine bags in his crown set up in a special place in the home, and nobody within our family is allowed to go into that area because that's his. Right. And I said, are you really serious? He goes, I'm serious. Yeah. And this is the impact that Night to Shine has on that grown man who's in the special needs world. He knows that he's loved. And so the only thing that I would ask everybody to do, if you go to ThibodauxFamilyChurch.com, when you go to our website, across the top bar is the bar, there's an events button. Click on the event button and you'll find all the stuff about Night to Shine, and there's some deadlines. So we need you to register quickly. The 19th at midnight is the last day to register, but sponsors can come in really closely to the end so that we can get all of our printing done.
It'll be the best dollar they ever spent on advertising.
Thank you, sir.
I can promise you. We'll be back with more. Get on there, register up.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.